Okay, so that's the first layer, very loosely in place. Remember I said I was going to then blend it? So I've got a clean paper stump. This is a soft one by Derwent. Sometimes these stumps can be very hard, so I like these Derwent ones. They're a rice paper, I believe. So that's what makes them soft. And I'm making sure when I'm doing the red areas, I'm using a clean part of the stump, so I'm not contaminating into it. And you can see there's no water or anything on the stump, it's just dry, but it looks almost like I'm using a watercolor brush. You know when you put watercolor pencils down, if you've ever tried that. But all I'm really doing is blending out the colors that I've put down, and they are going down into the tooth of the paper. Now this wouldn't work if I was using my finger, so this is, I'm not using hard pressure at all, just enough to cause this effect. I'm using a darker area on that stump. You can see I use it sideways as well, getting that down into, as I said, the tooth of the paper. Now if you find your pastels looks very grainy when you're using Pastelmat paper, it's because you haven't blended down into the initial layers of the paper. So what you're seeing is that roughness that I can see in places on mine now. By doing this, you'll see by the time I add layers on top, it gets very smooth. Now you can clean these stumps by rubbing them across a bit of sandpaper or microfiber cloth, but they are extremely cheap anyway, so I've always got a few in place, and I use an area then for the darks and an area for the lights. And you can also use it to actually darken an area. So if you've got a bit of dark actually on your stump, you can, you know, darken an area like that. It's great for softening the edges. You can see around the beetle, the edges are really soft and out of focus, as we've got that shallow depth of field from the photograph. And I want to try and create that as well, especially on the legs. So we've got that feeling of the beetle having a three-dimensional appearance to it. So as you can see, I've got, you know, all the main colors in place. They're certainly not perfect colors at all, they're not even matched up that much, but we can now see where the purples are, where the light greens are going, where those turquoises are going. So now I can come back in with more confidence and start to darken some areas up as well. So I'm going in with a kind of a purpley brown there. It's nowhere near dark enough as we're seeing in the reference photo. You can see I can now build up more layers, get more smoothness, push it down further, fill in little bits of the tooth of the paper a bit more. We can still put lots more layers on top of this Pastelmat. But you see, this is how I'm going to get that shiny appearance. Now we can see in the reference photo that that area I've just done as a dark purple, it's almost black. It's a very dark purpley brown, and I don't have that colour in my set. And I don't want to be using real pure blacks on anywhere other than the legs really. So I'm going to be using colours like that purple and then go over it with dark browns and blacks, and all those colours will show through, especially when you see it in real life. You see I'm checking my pencil against the reference photo. As I said, I've already got my pencils out and matched the ones that I think are closest to the scene. It's never going to be perfect, but I'm not worried about that. Slightly different lighting on the beetle will make it look quite different anyway. You can see sometimes you need perhaps a slightly lighter green to a colour that you're using. Like I'm using this turquoise pencil in an area, I may need it lightly, you know, a bit more yellow to it, so I can put a yellower pencil under and then put this on top, and that slightly adjusts the colour. So you can't always expect to have the exact colour in your set. And as I said, I need this edge to be really soft, really fuzzy looking, so that means lots of blending as well will go on as I continue building up layers. You see it's a bit darker around here. I'm still mapping out where areas are. I'm adding, this is nowhere near a refinement stage at all, but you know, with each layer that goes on top, I'm trying to be more accurate with the colour and the tones, the lights and the darks. And it's only when I get the darks dark enough that the lights will look light enough and the colours vibrant enough. Until then, they're all going to look really subdued. So you've got to have the darks correct and you've got to have your lights correct. See how I'm using that really, really gently and lightly, blending, softening, and you're going to see that a lot, this technique a lot in this drawing. Just wanted to quickly mention my Patreon channel for those looking for even more in-depth art instruction. It's packed full of pastel videos, oil videos as well, and those videos are being added to new ones every single month. I have videos for the complete beginner that have never done pastels or oils before with just limited supplies, and I take you from the very first blocking in all the way through to the final detailed drawings and paintings. I've also got some really unusual subjects as well, and in all of my videos I always take you through all the details. You see everything I do, how I create my work. But it's not just for beginners, it's also for novices, and I also show the best artwork that I've ever done as well. And this particular elephant video spans 6 hours, so you know you're going to see tons and tons of details, tips and techniques. And as mentioned, I've got lots of oil videos on there too, so there really is something for everybody, and you get access to hundreds of hours worth of videos for just $4. Now over 1,000 members strong. Hope to see you there soon.